Yo, what's good? Man, this Aries Spears and VLAD TV situation has turned into the digital trenches, man. We're talking about the explosive fallout between DJ VLAD and the comedic heavy hitter Aries Spears. It's a battle over dollars, cents, and sense of worth. But this isn't just about one man, it's about a pattern of high-priced disputes involving names like Boosie and Marlon Wayans. As we peel back the layers on these contracts and call-outs, we gotta ask the big questions. Is Aries Spears being ungrateful and greedy, or is Vlad straight up exploiting the culture for his own gain? Yo, let's get into it. So the tension started when Aries Spears, a longtime staple of the VLAD TV platform, decided it was time for a raise. Aries claimed that he reached out to Vlad as a friend, pointing out that he's the last one standing of the platform's legendary guests, following the departure of Lord Jamar, Godfrey, and Tony Yayo.
Apparently, Vlad decided to do an interview where he's taking shots at me and throwing me under the bus. And let me just say for the record, Vlad, you are a coward, a narcissist, and a hypocrite. Because I didn't even really watch the whole video, because what turned me off immediately was he started out by saying, "We not friends." You said to me in my face on multiple occasions that we are friends. But now all of a sudden, because I asked you for a bump in pay and that pissed you off, we're not friends? So which is it? Tell the truth. And let me give you all a little bit of backstory. So basically I called Vlad and said, look, I feel like I want a little bit of bump in pay because I know my value. You once had Lord Jamar, Godfrey, Tony Yayo, Boosie, and me, all of which many times people said were your best guests. Who's the only one left? Me.
Spears says he wasn't looking for Boosie money, but simply a fair bump in pay that recognized the value he brings to the channel. So instead of having a private negotiation with Vlad, things went nuclear. Vlad hit the airwaves with DJ academics claiming that Aries was pocket watching and jealous of what Boosie makes. Vlad didn't hold back, calling Aries a mid-tier comedian and stating that he was completely through with him. Vlad's side of the story, he claims Aries was already making about half the profit after expenses and that Spears was being disrespectful to his staff, even demanding makeup artists for every sit-down. This brings us to our first crossroads. Aries argues that when people watch his interviews, they often subscribe to Vlad's membership tier just for him, and then unsubscribe the moment he's gone. To him, that's leverage. But Vlad sees it differently, arguing that his platform is what made Aries' clips go viral in the first place. So is Aries being greedy by asking for more money when Vlad claims he's already put more money in his pocket than anybody? Or is Vlad simply exploiting a man who has clearly helped build the VLAD TV empire? Aries most definitely thinks it's exploitation. In a crazy response, he called Vlad a coward, a narcissist, and a hypocrite. He even took it a step further, accusing Vlad of being a culture vulture who turns to the black community 9 times out of 10 to boost his numbers.
And what about the culture vulture thing?
Another word for honky.
Right.
You know what I mean? Honky, cracker. I mean, it goes across the board. Like, this is something that white people have been called for decades and decades. And so, and the thing about it is that when you look at the other people in hip hop who are also called culture vultures, Steve Rifkin, who I worked with for a long time, Leo Cohen, who I know, like, these are massive contributors to the culture, more so than me.
Aries claims that Vlad would even ask for free tickets and shout-outs at his comedy shows, just to keep the tension on himself. Now Aries has offered to do one last interview for free, just to debate the truth on camera.
Godfrey stopped because of the beef with Farrakhan, as did Lord Jamar. Tony Yayo just doesn't do it anymore. And Boosie wanted a raise. Come to find out, Boosie wanted $35,000 an episode. Wow. He was getting $25,000.
Wow.
I don't get nowhere near that. And, you know, obviously it's based on the numbers, because a lot of Boosie's clips are in the millions. Now, again, I've had a few clips in the millions, but a lot of my stuff, the full interview, probably ranges around $300,000 to $500,000. So I basically said to Vlad, I go, hey, listen, man, I'm not trying to rape you financially. I know I'm not going to ask you for what you gave Boosie. Come on, man. I mean,
break bread.
Break bread. And he goes, well, your numbers don't generate what Boosie generate. And so I showed him a bunch of, you know, people that quotes and on YouTube and shit like that, and on my phone. And one person said, hey man, I only buy Vlad subscriptions when I know he's interviewing you. Once the interview's over, I cancel the subscription. Another guy said, hey man, Aries is a beast. Pay him what you pay in the mother. And I said, listen man, again, I'm just saying, be fair.
But Aries isn't the only one feeling some type of way about Vlad's business practices. To understand why this all went crazy, we have to look at the Boosie effect. Boosie recently sent shockwaves through the industry when he claimed on The Breakfast Club that he makes around $500k a year from his Vlad TV interviews. So this just opened a can of worms for Vlad. Other reports even suggest that Boosie pulls in anywhere from 25k to 40k per episode. I mean, he does some serious numbers, so you can understand why other people are going to come out and come for Vlad wanting their compensation. When those numbers went public, the floodgates opened in a crazy way. Vlad even joked on social media that he had to start a GoFundMe to keep the lights on because all his regular guests now wanted Boosie money. While Vlad was likely trolling, the underlying issue is real.
I ain't do Vlad no more. We couldn't come up with a agreement. He ain't want to pay me. I wanted $5,000 more than he wanted to pay me. He didn't want to pay me, so I think I'm gonna make more money doing it this way. And I'm editing my interview now.
Is it ungrateful for guests to demand a bigger slice of the platform that DJ Vlad has spent years building into a $10 million empire? Or does the fact that Vlad relies so heavily on these personalities mean they deserve a true partnership stake? Then there's the Marlon Wayans situation. Marlon allegedly asked for 40k plus 30% of the revenue for an interview. Vlad's response? He called it delusional. He broke down the math, claiming that since Marlon's interviews typically only get about 300k views, which translates to just a few $1,000s in YouTube revenue, there was no way the math could ever work. Marlon didn't take that lying down. He blasted Vlad on X, calling them unprofessional for taking private negotiations public just to drag a black man for stating his price. Like Aries, Marlon slapped the culture vulture label on Vlad, a term that has been used against him by others like Lord Jamar and Tyrese in the past. This is the core of the conflict. Vlad views his business through the cold, hard lens of data and analytics. If the views don't justify the price tag, he's not paying. The guests see it as a cultural exchange. They feel that their stories, their pain, their personalities are the fuel for Vlad's Ferrari. It's crazy, man. When Vlad calls a legend like Marlon Wayans delusional or a veteran like Aries Spears mid-tier, is he being a savvy businessman, or is he showing a lack of respect for the people who provide his content? The future of Vlad TV seems like it's at a bit of a tipping point. If high-profile guests like Boosie and Aries stop showing up, Vlad will have to find a whole new roster of talent to keep those millions of views rolling in. Yo, so let me ask you the question. Is Aries Spears being ungrateful and greedy by demanding more than the market value for his views? Or is Vlad exploiting his guests by keeping a lion's share of the profit while the guests take all the risks on camera? Is Vlad a brilliant media mogul who knows his numbers? Or is the culture vulture tag starting to stick? Yo, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay woke, stay paid, keep it locked on All Urban Central.